Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may happen to be in the world. Welcome to the IAG Live Streaming Show. And yes, I am wearing a bow tie because it's the first Friday in November. And if you follow IAG, you will know that means it is Power 50 night tonight. So we have a very exciting night tonight coming up. But nevertheless, we're going to do the live streaming show. And I see our intrepid studio producer, Oscar, has already brought Ben up. Ben, our managing editor, how are you?
I'm good, Andrew. It's a shame I won't be in Macau tonight for Power 50. We've obviously done a lot of travel the past few months and decided just to take a bit of a break from the flying for a little bit. So skipping this year, but I'll definitely be back next year.
Yes, all the Ben fans in Macau will be very disappointed. But anyway, what's that?
Or one of them.
Yeah, the Ben fan in Macau will be very disappointed. But look, yeah, Ben has been doing a lot of traveling, and as have we all. And those eagle-eared amongst you may notice my voice is playing up a little bit. I got quite sick about a week ago on my travels. First time I got sick this year, actually. Of course, it would happen just before Power 50. I'm on the mend, but I'm trying to save my voice for tonight. So, Ben, you're going to take most of the lead today.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. And I mean, look, there's been a lot to write about too the past few weeks. So I certainly have no problem in talking through some big headlines from the past week or two.
Sure, we've picked out 14 stories this week. We'll try and do them quite briefly, but pretty hard to narrow it down from there, given how much news there's been in the last week or so. So, but before we do that, let's say hello, as we do always on the streaming show, to our intrepid studio producer, Oscar Guiaro. Coming in, Oscar. There you are in the office.
How are you? Yeah, the office.
Very good. Very good. I see you've got a black shirt on. That's good.
IAG.
With the IAG logo. You'll be there tonight at the Power 50.
Yeah, I will be. Just heading to do some things after this streaming, just to work there.
Fair enough. So all the Oscar fans, I mean, there's hundreds of them, will be there tonight. You'll get mobbed. Take a big stick with you tonight to beat off the girls, Oscar.
I will. Thanks for the advice.
All right, no worries. We'll see you later on this afternoon.
See ya.
All right, well, let's kick it off with the first story of these 14 stories we've got for you. And Ben, I'll let you take over from here.
Yeah, so we learned in early to mid-October that Genting Bhd is looking to fully acquire its subsidiary Genting Malaysia. Of course, it currently owns, or it did own at that time, a little over 49% One of the conditions precedent to pursuing this takeover was, first of all, to move its holding above 50%. It did so with a series of small on-market transactions. It achieved that early this week, and so it is now in a position to fully move ahead and to acquire as much of Genting Malaysia as it can. There are certain landmarks across the way that could spark other milestones along this that could take it further along to that 100% ownership. And of course, this is all around their bid, or Genting Malaysia's bid, to win a full commercial license in New York City. And of course, the parent company would like, I think it sees the opportunity there and would like to own a larger chunk of that.
Yeah, I think that's what this is all really about. So good luck to Genting and their efforts in New York City. And we're down to 3 bidders for 3 casinos. So it's looking pretty good for those 3.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, so this has been the ongoing, seemingly never-ending story of the New Zealand International Convention Centre, originally scheduled to open in 2020. There was, of course, a fire on the roof in 2019, quite a significant fire on the roof during construction that caused all sorts of delays. Of course, COVID happened after that. Delay after delay. There's been some disputes between SkyCity and the construction company Fletcher's over timelines and deliverables. So that this has taken years and years to complete. But finally, SkyCity has taken delivery of the completed convention centre, quite a significant addition to their Auckland holdings there. Major event centre, really increases their MICE capability. Of course, that's becoming very important to integrated resort operators globally, is having a solid MICE offering. And of course, I believe there's a hotel as part of this as well. So, it's been a long time coming. It's due to open early 2026. That's about 6 years after the original opening date. But looks like it's finally going to happen, Andrew.
And I see that Jason Warbridge posted on LinkedIn about that. I'm sure he's very excited to finally take possession of that. CEO or COO? You would know, Ben.
CEO.
Yeah, CEO of SkyCity, which of course owns Auckland and Adelaide as well in Australia.
Yeah, and Hamilton and Queenstown, some smaller casinos in New Zealand.
All right, what's the next one, Oscar?
Yes, so look, it's been, I actually wrote a cover story about this very recently, about the resurgence across Asia of foreigner-only casinos, particularly in South Korea. They've had a very, very strong year. Paradise Co, of course, being the leading operator, but also Grand Korea Leisure, Lot Tour, the owner of Jeju Dream Tower. They've been printing significantly higher revenues all year and rising month to month. So Paradise actually had a little bit of a dip in September, but again, surging again in October, reporting some good casino revenues, some good profits. And look, I think this sort of speaks to the nature of the foreigner-only model. When things are going well, it can be quite a profitable business. But as we saw during the pandemic, it also is a model that gets hit particularly hard when things aren't going so well.
Yeah, very interesting career, and I actually plan to take a trip there next year, and quite a long trip to Korea and visit most of the casinos in Korea. I think it's a market we probably don't cover as much as we should, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, next one, Oscar.
Well, we're talking about the foreigner-only casinos in South Korea. Well, Kangwonland, of course, is the one that does accept locals. Probably the talk the past few years around Kangwonland is that earnings have been a little bit subdued. One of the responses from the ministry over there has been to provide a couple of concessions to Kangwonland. One of those is to increase table limits. That's with a view to increasing foreign visitation, attracting more foreigners. I don't know how they'll go with that. It's quite a remote property. But, I guess there are some locals taking advantage of that too. So I think they've got between 4 and 6 tables where they've significantly increased table limits. And the company has been saying that over the past 2 quarters that has really helped them. So we're starting to see Kangwonland revenues rising as well over the past 2 quarters, and that sort of bodes well for the future there.
Yeah, I mean, they've always, the statement everyone always makes is that they represent 50% of the GGR. It's actually a little bit less than that. It's more like 42, 43% of the GGR in South Korea, and the other 17 foreign-only casinos represent the other 50%, which is quite extraordinary and shows you the importance of having locals gaming in a property, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And just as an aside, Kangwonland is currently investing quite a bit into a second casino on the site there, and also into a whole heap of other facilities around the property there. Of course, they've got skiing and hiking and all sorts of different things in that area. So they're obviously sort of leveraging on that to sort of make Kangwonland a more enticing destination all round, to be gaming or non-gaming.
Maybe I can get a bit of skiing in when I go up there next year.
I want to see that.
Don't laugh. I fall hard though, but I quite enjoy my skiing. Been skiing in Queenstown a few times and a few times in Australia in different places. Yeah, very nice. Anyway, next one, Oscar.
Yeah, so again, I mean, it's a results season at the moment. There's been a lot of companies releasing their results, and Light & Wonder, again, pretty decent quarter for Light & Wonder. Growth across its two core segments, gaming and iGaming. Social was a little bit down, but certainly the pretty solid $841 million in revenue. That's up on the previous quarter. It's up on the previous year. They've hit their EBITDA target. They're well on track for the 1.4 billion annualized EBITDA that they spoke about a couple of years ago. They're tracking above that. Again, things shaping pretty well for Light & Wonder. They've had a bit of a tough year in some respects. I know it's been tough for them in Asia. There's been the litigation around Dragon Train. But the results are starting to return quite strongly, and I believe the company were quite pleased with them.
Yeah, I think Asia was the outlier for them this year. I mean, it was a tough year for Light & Wonder in Asia. A few things went wrong early in the year and a few things like that. But overall, what Matt Wilson's done and the wider team, obviously, has been great. Isn't it amazing what happens when you put a target out there and you manifest to the team you're going to make the target and get everybody aligned, and you can really grow a company that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. What's next, Oscar? Oh, yeah, I better talk about this. Look, I'm just going to be very neutral and circumspect on this. Look, it came out about a week, actually closer to 2 weeks ago now, this video, Okada Manila allegations. This video was posted on YouTube, very controversial. It is news. It is gaming industry news. It was being passed around by many people in the industry. Look, we here at IAG, we put a disclaimer at the top and at the bottom of this story. We do not profess to support this video. We do not say whether it is right or wrong. We are making no judgment whatsoever as to its authenticity. However, it is news. It is industry news. And much as we like to support the industry and we don't like it when this kind of news comes out, it is essential that IAG does cover this sort of stuff. So we did contact Okada Manila for comment, and they directed us to their statement, which we reproduced in full. So with this kind of thing where it's a little bit of a he said, she said, or they said, I think it's what's best for IAG here is to just simply report what the allegations are, report the response to the allegations, and then leave it to the readership to decide. So, but yeah, look, this was kicking around. It had 125,000 views, and it was important that we do cover the fact that it was happening in the industry. So please don't read into our coverage of this either an endorsement or a criticism of the video or of Okada Manila. We're being completely neutral in this matter and letting the readership decide. So we'll just leave it at that and move on to the next story, I think. Galaxy, big numbers, Ben.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've spoken a lot and written a lot about Macau surging along over the past 6 months or so, certainly since May. Revenues have been rising well above expectations. It's been a great 6 months or so for Macau's operators. And again, Galaxy revenues climbing further, up substantially year on year, up slightly quarter on quarter. Again, Galaxy Macau just killing it, just proving what a wonderful property that is. The additions Galaxy has made, Phase 3 opened a couple of years ago. They recently opened Capella. Phase 4 is due in 2027. This sprawling property that has everything there just keeps getting bigger and bigger and just keeps growing, Andrew. So look, well done, Galaxy. They're doing a great job there. And I think the other thing too is, we've spoken about the fact that, Galaxy was one operator during COVID that had no debt. It had, substantial cash reserves, and they alluded to that again in its results release. The cash they've got on hand, and it's just impressive what they've done. They're a company very well positioned and continuing to grow.
Look, they're already a behemoth, and what a hell of a behemoth they're going to be when they open phase 4. I mean, with those extra towers and extra hotels there, they'll be well into the double digits in the number of hotels that they have. Their hotel room inventory will be I think around 8,000 or something when they open that. Getting up towards even Sands, which is the biggest, with I think they've got about 13,000. I might have gone down a little bit because they've converted some to suites, right? But still, they'll be in the same ballpark for the number of hotel rooms. And look, Galaxy, just hats off to Francis Loy and all of his team there. They did have a few little wobbles coming out of COVID. I think some of the other operators in Macau, maybe the smaller, more nimble operators, snapped back quicker than Galaxy, and there was a little bit of a period there of perhaps about a year where I think things didn't, much like Melco, where things didn't quite go right. But I think Francis, to his credit, Francis Loy, the chairman of Galaxy Entertainment Group, he knows how to react, and he knows how to see when he's maybe taking a step down the wrong path and how to go back on that, and he knows how to get quality people, and he's got some great people working for him there. So it's just, you just shake your head about how good a property it is. It's very, very hard to find fault with them. It's very, very hard to find a weak link in that company of things that they don't do well. I mean, they do everything solidly well. The only criticism I can ever come up with that company is it's sort of an all eggs in one basket to a certain extent, without a property outside of Macau. They were super interested in Thailand and remain super interested in Thailand. Obviously, that's gone south for a while now. I'm sure it'll be back at some point. Just got nothing but admiration for Galaxy and what they've done. It's just really impressive. And look at the numbers. All of this comes out in the numbers, doesn't it?
Yeah. And as you say, it's been they've responded to the post-COVID wobbles, as you suggested, with more premium product. Apparently their premium mass are just going nuts, and they keep producing.
Well, they've got the cash, they've got the balance sheet, a strong balance sheet to be able to not make mistakes, but just make corrections and just ride things out. They've just got the ability to ride out bad times, and that's something that Francis has mentioned to me when I've interviewed him. Something I think his father probably instilled in him, having enough money in the bank to ride out, one or two economic cycles of boom and bust. So very, very interesting story. Anyway, let's move on. What's next, Oscar? Well, this just came out yesterday.
Yeah, this is a very interesting one of Kevin Mullally stepping down, replaced by Jim Murren for now. It's interesting because there's so much happening in the UAE at the moment. Of course, the CEO of the UAE regulator, they've obviously issued one land-based license to Wynn for the property up there in Ras Al Khaimah. They've issued around 15 supply licenses of various types. There's been talk, Kevin Mullally's been quite active actually at a number of conferences and various, speaking quite openly about the plans for the UAE there. He's spoken about they want to be technologically advanced. They want to be open to innovation. There's been a report by our friend Martin Williams recently, Andrew, too, about they could be offering up to one online license for each of the 7 Emirates, similar to the model that's sort of been suggested for the land-based as well. So lots of news coming out of the UAE recently, lots of news coming from the regulatory sphere. So a very interesting time for Kevin to be stepping down. But of course, Jim Murren is no stranger to this industry either.
Well, actually, I have to confess I've spoken to both of them in the last few days, and both Kevin and Jim. I won't say what they said, but there was nothing newsworthy in it, just all good stuff. So I actually saw Kevin in person as well as when I was in Toronto a couple of weeks ago for the IAG conference as well, and he was in fine spirits. So I think he just perhaps he just wants to go back to the US. He spent a bit of time there in the UAE, and wants to be based back in the US rather than the UAE, perhaps. Anyway, that's just speculation, but interesting times for the UAE. All right, what's next?
Yeah, well, again, more results season. Wrote this
Yep.
this morning. Another strong quarter for Melco. Very, very slightly down on Q2. A little bit impacted by weather events and things in this quarter. Substantially higher than last year, the results for Melco across the board. Yeah, I mean, of course, the Macau properties both very, very slightly down for similar reasons. Interesting thing, Andrew, I mean, I know that City of Dreams Mediterranean, where we've both been to, and actually very impressive property. Now, it's not generating, massive revenues or anything compared to Macau numbers, but it did report by far its best quarter so far in this quarter, up quite a bit across the board, across all segments. So, that's good to see. And Melco is one of those companies, probably not unlike Galaxy, and it took a while to get momentum going post-COVID, but it seems to be gaining that momentum now.
Yeah, the big difference, of course, is debt. Galaxy's got no debt at all, and Melco is somewhat burdened with debt, to be honest. But I think Lawrence is aware of that and actively trying to address that issue. I know, we know that COD Manila is up for sale, and if that transaction were to be consummated, his debt would, the debt would go down. And I think, City of Dreams Mediterranean, you mentioned, great property, lovely property, sort of Macau standard, probably smaller than most Macau properties, but like a peninsula property, I guess you would say. The big problem in Cyprus, of course, is northern Cyprus, the Turkish-controlled part of Cyprus, where there's basically no taxes. So they offer huge rebates on loss to players and things like that. But those properties aren't nearly as beautiful as City of Dreams Mediterranean. So if you want a luxury experience, you go to City of Dreams Mediterranean. If you're just a pure gambler, worried about, the dollars and cents, I guess you go to northern Cyprus, to the Turkish control part of Cyprus, and play in a little bit of a more dingy place and not really quite as nice. So I think that's the issue there with Cyprus. But look, congratulations to Melco. Lawrence keeps on keeping on, and plenty of people have written him off many times before. Keeps on bouncing back. So well done to Melco, and I think they're getting stronger and stronger with the results coming through in Macau now as well. So they'll pay that debt down. They'll be fine. There'll be no problem with Melco as time goes on.
Yeah.
All right, Oscar, what's next?
Yeah, results season again. So I think there are about 5 or 6 results stories I've written in the past 24 hours, Andrew. This is one of them that late yesterday, Genting Singapore released their results. Look, Sentosa is in the midst of its RWS 2.0 renovations. There's quite a bit going on there that's been quite distracting over the past 6 months. Their Q2 results are very disappointing. Q3 quite improved on Q2. Some of their non-gaming attractions in particular have opened over the past few months. Oceanarium. 1st of October, they opened their new luxury hotel. We haven't seen the impact of that in Q3, but analysts think that'll happen in Q4 and into Q1 next year. So still a long way to go for RWS at the moment. But as these new facilities, new attractions start to open progressively, I think we're going to start to see those revenues coming back up again. So general takeout from Q3 is that a small step forward for RWS, but quite a bit more to come over the next few months.
Look, I think having a strong RWS in Singapore is a good thing. We got to the point there where between the duopoly between Marina Bay Sands and RWS, I think it was 72-28 was the market share. That is getting kind of ridiculous in a duopoly when one side's got over 70%. And I think it's good for RWS to do well in Singapore, to keep Marina Bay Sands honest, basically. I mean, you want competition in a market. You don't want monopoly. And so this is good. So good luck to Genting. And I hope that they do well. They've got new leadership now. They've had leadership changes at RWS. They've got new leadership now. And I wish them well. I hope that they do really well. And I'll be going to Singapore early next year, at some stage next year anyway, and spend some time at both properties in Singapore. And I hope to meet with the new leadership there and see what they're doing, because they're spending, what is it, $5 billion US, Ben?
Yeah, around about 5 billion. Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of money. So that's got to go somewhere. So they should create some great product with that.
Yeah. No, I agree, Andrew. I look forward to seeing what they're going to do there. I've been talking to a few of the senior staff there at Resorts World recently, and of course our good friend Chen Si is joining very soon, and so they'll have a COO on board again. I'm sure they're missing having someone of that executive level at the moment. So again, yes. I think that will help them moving forward.
Yes. Okay. What's next, Oscar? Oh, there you go. We just mentioned it.
Yeah. I mean, so this was something that came out of the earnings call today. Jeff Davis was talking about this, actually, about the fact that they've undergone a strategic review of City of Dreams Manila. What do they do about it? Including, of course, sale of their 50% stake is one of the options. Interesting thing was that Jeff Davis was saying that the strategic review is coming to an end. They've obviously spoken to a number of bidders. They've got some offers in. They will review that. From the terminology he was saying, it doesn't sound like they're definitely going to sell. They're going to take stock of the offers and figure out what is the best option for them going forward. So, of course, a sale is still one of those options, but it may not be the only option. So that whole process is coming to an end soon, and they'll make a decision then. Of course, he spoke about debt before, Andrew. Jeff spoke about that as well on the call this morning. They've paid off quite a bit of debt. This would also help their debt. However, they're probably going to be a little less focused on that debt reduction next year than they have been over the past 2 years. And they mentioned they're very keen to resume dividend payments by the end of.
Yeah, look, two hard, long years of debt reduction. I think you get fatigued after a while, and it's good to pay a dividend. And look, it's a great little property, City of Dreams Manila. It sort of gets in the shadows of the Solaires and the Okada Manilas and even the Newports of the world. But look, it's a great little property, and it sounds to me like we're keen to sell it, but only at the right price.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right, what's next, Oscar? Our friends at Digiplus.
Yes, well, in this case, it was a bit of a slide in Q3 for Digiplus, and probably no surprise because we've seen all the regulatory action in the Philippines over the e-game segment recently. And of course, the big one for them was the order from the central bank for e-wallets to unlink direct links to online gaming sites from their platforms. So that's certainly been it's hit the revenues hard of operators such as Digiplus. And one of the problems, of course, is that when there were these links from the e-wallets, they were links to all the licensed sites. So, as much as I'm sure that those that ordered the unlinkage to happen thought that might be a proactive measure against the growth of the e-game segment, I think what it's actually done is blurred the lines for the casual player as to what is a licensed site and what is not a licensed site. You used to be able to access the licensed site through e-wallets. Now you don't have that.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, that's one thing we're seeing happen here. So, as a result, we're seeing revenues fall. Digiplus still doing very well, of course. It's grown substantially over the past 12 months or so. But it was soaring at unbelievable growth rates, and that's slowed in Q3.
Yeah. Eusebio Tanco, the chairman of Digiplus, he's done very well for himself over the last few years.
Yes. I'm sure that we'll like to see him at one of our events in the future, Andrew.
Yeah. I think we need to build a bit more of a relationship. Well, of course, we've got a good relationship with Casino Plus, with Evan Spitmar, but I think we need to get to know the Digiplus guy. And there's also Bingo Plus, and there's a whole heap of plus in the Philippines, isn't there?
Well, Bingo Plus, that's part of the Digiplus stable. So
yeah, there's another couple of pluses as well, not so well known.
Many pluses.
What is it?
Many pluses, fewer negatives.
Many, very good. All right, what's next, Oscar? Wynn's results as well. You had a busy day today.
It was a pretty hectic morning. Glad I got up early, Andrew. So, a Wynn. Actually, a very good quarter for Wynn. They've sort of been reporting revenues for the past few quarters in sort of the 850 million range. Well, this quarter they jumped up above $1 billion. for a couple of reasons. One is that in previous quarters have suffered from low VIP hold. Well, they actually enjoyed some strong hold in this quarter, and also their mass volumes climbed substantially throughout this quarter. So Wynn, claiming back a bit of market share, starting to move in the right direction, and a very good quarter for them.
Yeah, very good. Good to see our friends Wynn doing well. And of course, we're having the Macau After Dark Christmas event on December the 5th, Friday, December the 5th. We'll be at Wynn Palace at that property you can see right in front of you there. So looking forward to that. Had it at the same venue last year and it was so popular. People asked us to have it there again. So we are.
Yep.
All right. Next one. Aha.
Yes, so again, another little topic to emerge from the Wynn earnings call this morning, talking a bit about the UAE. Of course, Wynn is developing its $5.1 billion Wynn Al Marjan Island integrated resort there, and they revealed this morning that their joint venture partnership over there is also going to be building this hotel and residences, Janu Al Marjan Island, which will be sort of a nice little value add-on right next to the IR. They said they're expecting some very high value people to buy into this.
Oh, they are not going to be cheap. I tell you that right now. They are going to be very expensive.
No, so I think that they're hoping that they'll have a few customers living next door.
Yeah, no, that's wouldn't it be wonderful to own one of them? I mean, the property there is magnificent. I've waxed lyrical about it on other occasions, so I won't do it today. But the venue, I was lucky enough to have the tour there in May, I think it was this year. Planning to go again next year, and then again for the opening the year after. So it's just a magnificent property, and I think underestimated by the world's analysts. I think it's going to absolutely kick butt. They're going to do really, really well there.
Yep, I really look forward to seeing this one, Andrew. So 2027 opening, they're on track, they say. So look forward to that.
Well, let's see if we can try and get you over there for that. That'll be so much fun, that opening.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? Is that it? It is it. Oh, very good. All right, my voice seems to have held up. Hopefully it can hold up through to tonight. Look, everybody, just want to say, if you're coming to the Power 50 tonight, thank you very much for coming. It's going to be such a great evening. There's Scott saying we want Ben. Yes, well, sorry, Ben. You've got one fan in Scott Messenger. Look, it's going to be a absolutely great night tonight at the Power 50. Really looking forward to it. Down there at the Grand Pavilion, of course, at Grand Lisboa Palace. The property, the hardware of the property is magnificent. We've been setting up the room yesterday. It looks fantastic. It's just going to be an absolutely great night. And if you are not able to be in Macau, or you do not have a ticket, it is sold out. But if you do not have a ticket and you're not going to be there, you will be able to live vicariously in a couple of ways. There'll be the live stream that'll be happening during the Welcome Cocktails hour, and there's also the live photography. There's a QR code. If you go to iagpower50.com and then go to 2025 dinner, that page, the QR code is on there. You can scan that QR code and you can get the live pictures. There's already some pictures up there now, but as the event rolls out, pictures will be being uploaded through the night, so you'll be able to do that as well. It's the 18th Power 50, so we're very, very excited about. There we go. Scott said, don't forget about the after party at Mesa. Good point, Scott. Thank you for reminding me. So for those of you who don't know, the Power 50's got three components. The welcome cocktails from 6:30 to 7:30. The gala dinner itself from 7:30 to around 10. And then we go straight to the after party, which is at Mesa at Grand Lisboa Palace from 10 till late. It's going to be an absolute great night. And thanks for your comment there, Henry Fonseca. Great live streaming, guys. Thank you very much. So that's it for us for this week, I think, Ben.
Yeah, that's it. And I'll be following along on a live stream all the way from Sydney, Andrew. So I look forward to that one.
Very good. And don't forget the final two events for the year. The last two Mads, our two Christmas parties, one in Macau at Wynn Palace, as we've just mentioned, on Friday the 5th of December, and the other at Solaire Solaire Entertainment City at the BRB, formerly the Baccarat Room and Bar. I think they call it BRB now, which will be on Friday, the 12th of December, the following Friday. Look forward to seeing you there as well. So that's it from us for the live streaming for this week. Have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll see you tonight at the Power 50.
Bye for now.
See you guys. Bye.